Microscopic Milton is very small indeed. He lives in a clock on the mantelpiece in the parlour of a house that belongs to a lady named Mrs. Witherspoon. No one knows he's there, apart from Milton's friend Douglas, who spends most of his time asleep in front of the fire, and of course, you. Milton had just woken from a very pleasant dream about giant toffee apples when he heard the postman arrive. "I wonder if there's a letter for me," he said, and began to get dressed. "Oh, look, Douglas, a letter from my sister in America," said Mrs. Witherspoon excitedly. "She lives in Hollywood now, you know." "Gee whiz," thought an uninterested Douglas. Mrs. Witherspoon took the letter into the kitchen to read over breakfast. "Anything for me?" asked Milton as he peered inside the envelope. "Aha! A letter from my cousin, Enormous Eric." "Enormous?" thought Douglas. "He's a Hollywood film star," continued Milton. "He changed his name from Minuscule Mervyn to Enormous Eric. He thought it sounded better." Milton went on to read the letter. "He's coming to visit," announced Milton. "He should be arriving by second post." Milton and Douglas waited by the front door. They didn't have long to wait. "He's here," shouted Milton, as a tiny parcel dropped through the letterbox and landed on the mat with a thud. Milton quickly opened the parcel. "Hello, Eric," he said cheerfully. "Meet my friend Douglas." "Damn postal system," complained Eric. "I asked for first class, the food was terrible, and I didn't get a window seat." "A pleasure to meet you too," thought Douglas. Milton took Eric to his clock so that he could unpack and rest after his long journey. "I'm afraid you'll have to sleep on the couch," said Milton. "I only have one bed." But Eric wasn't listening. "It's a bit lumpy," said Eric. "I'm used to much better things, but I'll stay anyway. Wake me up at lunchtime. I'll have some freshly squeezed orange juice and an egg over easy." "I'd forgotten just how rude he is," said Milton. "He'll have to go," thought Douglas. That night, Milton didn't sleep very well at all. And from the moment that Eric woke up in the morning, he complained about everything. He complained about the food. He complained about the weather. He even complained about Douglas snoring. Eric was taking a nap when two men arrived at the house carrying a large grandfather clock, which they left in the parlour. "Wow," said Milton. "What a magnificent clock. That would make a fantastic home." "Out of my way," shouted a very rude Eric as he pushed Milton aside. "I saw it first." Milton and Douglas were getting very tired and very angry with their guest and decided to take a walk round the garden to cool off. "There's only one thing for it," said Milton after a while. "I'm simply going to ask him to leave." Douglas agreed, but when they got back to the parlour, Eric and the grandfather clock were gone. Douglas looked out of the window. "Woof," he said. Milton rushed over to see one of the delivery men closing the doors of his van. Just then, Mrs. Witherspoon walked in with the second delivery man. "Now, don't you worry, Mrs. Witherspoon," he said. "We'll have that old clock safely delivered to your sister in America by the end of the week." "That's lovely," said Mrs. Witherspoon. "She's always wanted a genuine grandfather clock." Milton and Douglas laughed. "I think everyone should be happy now," thought Douglas. "Mrs. Witherspoon's sister's got a new clock. Eric gets a new luxury home, and you'll get your old bed back. Very satisfactory." Milton agreed and set off back to his clock for a good night's sleep.